Hey everyone, this is some nerdy guy back again with another video, and today's video is, you guessed it, another limited run games pickup video. I got all this stuff here. There's 4 padded envelopes, this box here, and then what just arrived yesterday was this big box here. So without further ado, just get right into it. Yeah, I've been holding on to some of this stuff for not a handful of months. I think it's only been really a month or two. Just another burst of limited run stuff just coming through the pipeline, I guess. They just start start shipping out stuff like all together. It seems like kind of comes in waves. From how much I've ordered from limited run, it seems like they do it in spurts, like for like chunks of the year. It's like all these games were available for pre-order and then they all kind of go out at the same time. So that's pretty cool. So we got 2 games here, both PlayStation, surprisingly not Switch stuff. We have Humanity, which I thought this game was really, really interesting. It almost reminds me of, there was this really weird game on the PS3. It was called Nobi Nobi Boy. And this is a little bit different, but you're like controlling this herd of people with this little dog right here, the doggy. And yeah, I don't know. It's just like a puzzle game where you have to like, I haven't seen too much gameplay of it. I just remember, I think this is one of the first games that they kind of showed off during the first year that the PS5 was announced, or that it was coming out. And I believe it was advertised as a VR game, as it says up here, it's compatible with VR. But it never got a physical until now, but it's pretty cool that it did. I am happy to have that. Super cool. And then the other one is Shadows of the Damned. I remember really wanting this game for a while, and it was kind of expensive to get on PS3 and 360. And they decided to do a, I don't think it's a full remake. I think it's just kind of a remastered, upscaled a little bit for modern consoles. And I believe this was only like 25 or 30 bucks. So not bad. I am happy with that. And got the next one. It is a Switch game. Oh, yes. I'm so excited for this one. My copy of Clock Tower Rewind for the Switch. I ended up passing on the collector's edition for this, which initially when this was first unveiled, I was like, all right, I'm getting everything. I'm getting the PS5 version, the Switch version, the collector's edition. I'm getting everything. But then I kind of looked more into what came with the collector's edition, and it didn't really impress me as much as I hoped, which it seems that way for a lot of different limited run collector's editions as of late. I still, obviously, I kind of sound like a hypocrite because I still buy a lot of them, but I'm trying to be more choosy about the special editions specifically. Just because some of them are kind of lacking, but some of them do come with really cool stuff. They'll come with like a plushie or a figurine. I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. But when it's just like a keychain, a poster, and a soundtrack, and it's like $80 to $100, I'm kind of like, I don't know if it's really that worth it. Which I think, obviously, the Clock Tower one came with more than that, but still, to me, it just didn't seem as worth it. So I just went with the standard Switch copy. What's kind of interesting too, I don't know a whole lot about Clock Tower. I know it was a game that was never released over here, at least this one. I think there was a Clock Tower game on the PS1, if I'm not mistaken, but it's different than this one. But it's interesting that it is made by both Sunsoft and Capcom, as well as WayForward, which I think they're responsible for like localizing it as well as Carbon Engine, like getting the original version of the game to run on modern platforms. But it's just interesting to see 2 different pretty big third-party companies, Capcom and Sunsoft, both being on the same game is just kind of interesting to me. So I think that's really cool. Super excited for that one. Let's see what's next. What do we got here? Oh, yes! Okay, another one. Another one I was super excited for. Another older game that got put on modern platforms. Glover! Yes! My buddy, Taylor, that I kind of made a video about, and we're not talking anymore, I guess, whatever. But there was a whole big inside joke we had about me being obsessed with Glover, which I'm not that big a fan of Glover. I can't exactly remember how it came about. But I am excited to have this because I remember playing Glover as a kid and it was always very confusing, but I just loved how the character looked. I liked the colorful world. It was like, oh, this is another like Super Mario 64 game, because, you know, that was like a game I was obsessed with as a kid. So already played through that and it's like, man, I wish I had another game that was kind of like that. And this kind of gave me that feeling as a kid, but this was way more difficult and I could not figure it out, but I still remember just having a lot of fun being within that first area of the game and just seeing the colors and stuff were just always really cool. And there's I believe that's the first level right there. I'm pretty sure that's that one if I remember right. But still very cool to have this on the Switch. I think it was also available on PS5. And then they also did a re-release of the 64 game that you could buy, but through limited run. But I don't really see the point in that personally, because Glover isn't that like crazy rare of a game. If it was and they did a reprint of it, that's kind of cool. So it's like more affordable for people who can't get the original, because they've been doing that a lot lately. But Glover's not really that kind of game. So I don't know, to each their own. If you like it, you like it. And if you don't buy it, whatever. This one also just came recently. Super excited for this one. Penny's Big Breakaway. A lot of 3D platformer type games going on. Well, actually, this is only the second one, so I shouldn't really say that. But this is another one that I was super hyped for. This is made by the same team that did Sonic Mania. And I really like that game a lot. And I like Sonic games, and I like 3D platforming games. So, yeah, this looks so cool. I love the art style. Just anything that's super colorful and vibrant, I'm just all about it. It's really cool to me. Hopefully seeing this, maybe Sega will be like, hey, maybe you guys should make a 3D Sonic game. I don't know. Could be cool to get something more so, because Sonic Frontiers was cool. I really did like it a lot. But to kind of maybe do like a retro inspired, I guess, like 3D Sonic game, like a like not necessarily Sonic Adventure, but how we were supposed to get a 3D Sonic game on the Saturn, not 3D Blast, but there was supposed to be a different game, to have like that same feel for a new Sonic game and have them make it. I think that would be perfect. I think that would be such a cool concept. We'll see if Sega decides to do anything like that. I don't know. All right. And then this one, more retro comeback stuff. These are both the same game, but they're different games. They're just of the same name. But from what I've been told, these are completely different. Some similarities, of course, but that is Rodland, both for the NES and the Game Boy. Very cool stuff. It's a game that was never released in America back in the day, but has now been localized and put on the NES and the Game Boy for US. Super cool. I'm excited about that. I also am a big fan of this, even though I would never really display my game like this. Just having the little pixelate, like the little sprites on an acrylic figure is just really cool to me. They did the same thing for Hammer and Henry, the NES collection. For both of those games, you could put the acrylic figure thing together and have your NES carts on there. So that's pretty neat. But yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to say about these because I've not played them before. I've not put up any ROMs or anything like that to try to play these. But it looked like an interesting enough game for me that I wanted to pick them up. I just like having games that were never originally released, and just being able to finally have them is just awesome to me. I just think that's the coolest thing. So yeah, now we got this last box here. This one just came yesterday, and this one is the big deal one for me, because there are two items in particular that are in here that are not even games. Just super stoked to have these. Okay, let's see what we got here. Oh, these are so nice. The size of these are so way better. Okay, so another running gag that I have with my buddy, with Taylor, was I bought the Glover plushie, and I was so disappointed with the size. It was a $30 plushie, and he was only like this big. And then these, I got 2 plushies here, and they were both the same price, and they are like quadruple the size. They are so cool. But we'll get to those in a minute, because there are 2 games in here. We have the Beyond Good and Evil 20th Anniversary Edition. Really excited to have this. I've never played the original Beyond Good and Evil. And then I remember they announced the sequel years ago. It's been like 10 years now, and it's just, we don't know anything about it. Really, there's no release date. There's no, yeah, but it's a classic from what I've heard. A lot of people like it, so I'm willing to give it a shot, and I have it for the Switch. And then this one, this one looked really interesting too. Very retro inspired 3D platformer, but that is Potodroid Delta for the PS4. This wasn't on the Switch or anything. This was only on PS4, so this was the version I had to go with. But looks very cool. And then last but not least, we have the Tomba plushies. Look how cool these things are. These things look so good. Look at Tomba. Just seeing Tomba merch is just the coolest thing. Something I never would have ever expected to ever happen. Like getting the game, let alone all this merch they did for it. They had a controller you could get, a bunch of different like tiers of the collector's edition, which I know they've done that for other games, but just seeing Tomba make a comeback is just so cool. I am so happy to just have Tomba. There is a Tomba plushie from the original game, but it's like hundreds of dollars, I think. I think it was only released in Japan because Tomba was never really popular over here when the first game came out. But now there's a revamped, modernized version of it. So, yeah, so cool. I cannot believe I'm holding this right now. I never, ever would have thought that they would ever make something like this. So, I'm so stoked to have these guys. So, yeah, I guess the recap part. We got the plushies. We got Potoroid Delta for PS4. Beyond Good and Evil for the Switch. We got Rodland, both for NES and Game Boy. We got Penny's Big Breakaway, Glover for the Switch, Clock Tower Rewind, super excited for those, Shadows of the Damned, and then Humanity on the PS5. See, I don't just collect Switch, I collect other consoles too. I just so happen to like the Switch. I don't know. But it's not the only thing that I like, so yeah, really cool stuff. I am very happy with all this, and I didn't mind waiting for it. It's always, most of the time, is worth the wait, unless you get a Glover plushie that is way smaller than it should have been. But yeah, that is another Limited Run Games pickup video. So if you like this one, like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to just keep doing these as I get more Limited Run stuff, and try to keep up with uploading. Because I'll make these, I'll record them, and then I'll sit on it forever for whatever reason, just not upload it. And then I get backlogged with more stuff. So I'm still uploading older ones as I go. So I'm probably going to upload this one and then still keep uploading the old ones, just so, I don't know, just so there's content on the channel. So anyways, if you like it, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next one, see ya.